I will talk to the council. I'm sure
What
we
if
can...
we fish beyond the reef?
No one goes beyond the reef.
I know, but if there are no fish in the lagoon,
Moana,
and there's a whole ocean.
we have one rule.
An old rule when there were fish.
A rule that keeps us safe
But Dad,
instead of endangering our people, so you can run right back to the water.
Moana's dad is afraid. If you've seen this movie, you know that Moana's dad will not let anyone go beyond the reef because when he was young, he and his friend had sailed beyond the reef, and in the process, his friend had died. Since then, Moana's dad did not let anyone go beyond the reef. He was afraid. He knew that his people were meant to be voyagers or people that sail in the ocean, but his fear controlled him. His fear stopped him and his people from being who they were created to be. Then his fear had consequences. The islanders began struggling to find food to eat, and even the trees began to wither and rot. This is a lot like the family redeemer in Ruth. He was afraid that if he did what God had called him to do and helped Ruth and Naomi, that he would lose what he had. His fear controlled him. He became selfish and denied who God had called him to be. In his selfishness, he rejected the opportunity to be a part of Jesus' family. He wasn't even aware that God had a glorious plan involved with redeeming Naomi. All he had to do was do what God had called him to do. We constantly deny who God's called us to be. God gave us the job to cultivate the land or to help it continue to grow. But in our fear and our selfishness, we are now seeing pollution and destruction ruling over the land. God gave us the job to love one another, just as He's loved us. But in our fear and in our selfishness, we have created a world where there is poverty and abuse. God gave us the job to share the good news of Jesus with others. But in our fear and in our selfishness, we have hidden behind our screens rather than sitting in uncomfortable conversations. So, what are some of the things God's called you to do? Let's talk about that together. What are some of the things that you know God has called you to do?